I think I'm live. You're live. Hello? Test. Yeah, it says I'm live. Yeah, you try it. 9 seconds.
Is this live? Hang on, I'm almost there. Boom.
I cleaned up my room a little. Yeah. My office a little. You see me or no?
It's working well.
I'm here.
Yeah.
But you're not logged in as live chat. There's nobody there.
I'm gonna go down. Yeah, there's one watching. No, there's 4 watching. 5 watching.
Cindy Lou. Hey, Marty. Well, hey, Cindy. How are you? Cindy's the first one.
Yeah, I see it.
Oh, we got a little. I don't know.
Yeah, it's working.
It's working, Cindy. Yay! I feel like I'm Cindy here. I'm a real amateur here. Sorry, Cindy. I love Cindy. Hello, everyone. Eureka. Well, I don't see Bruce. Bruce, how come you're not here?
I'm there. But you don't tell I didn't right yet. Hold on.
I'm going to close this other live stream. Dabs, you got to come over. Hi, Marty, Cindy, Bruce. There's Bruce. All right, so now you click to that person, add as moderator. Bruce is now a moderator. We'll make Cindy a moderator. Cindy, you want to be a moderator? Cindy's a moderator.
Yeah, Cindy just did the video.
Now, you guys aren't showing up as blue on my side. Is that what happens, Bruce?
It's normal. It's normal when we log out. When we come back, we'll be.
There she is. Now, yeah, I would be on her. No, she's blue now, or purple, or whatever color you want to call it.
Yeah. If I take it out, if I go out.
See, now they're showing 8 people watching, but there's only 1, 2, 3, 4. There's Bruce, me, Cindy,
and you're on live stream right now, right?
Right, I understand that.
Yeah, it works good. There's a whole bunch of Cindy. There's kind of the Eureka.
You guys, this is my first time, so I got Bruce on my speakerphone. Hey, say hi, Bruce.
Hello, community. Thanks for subscribing to Carefree Observatory.
Yeah, thanks, everybody. Arcuda. How you say that? Arcuda? Eureka? Am I saying it properly? Ercuta. Arcuda. Yeah. Hi, Michael. Michael's here. Brian Goodoy. I think that's a testing 1, 2, 4. Yeah.
Michael Hurd is there. He's from Australia. He's also often on my.
How's my? I've got a Sony 1080 live stream camera. I don't know. It looks good on my screen.
It looks great. There's Robert Colford. He also comes over to the live streams. You get a lot of people.
We got to download so we can do split screen. We'll be able to live stream together, Bruce. We got to figure that one out. How?
Of course, yeah.
How?
We can do that with Zoom. On Zoom meeting, you and I will be able to do that by finding out how to enter it here with the numbers, and we'll be able to split our screen. We'll be able to do the same thing that you're doing right now, but each of us side by side, and I'll be able to hang out with you, and you can come hang out with me. I'll find you. Definitely be able to do that.
Welcome, Robert. Robert Colford here. You're not intruding. This is we're not really testing. Actually, this is the first time I've ever done this, so and I've got Bruce kind of walking me through it.
Yeah. Man, it's good.
So, who's got questions? No. With all the stuff that I'm doing at this build, you would think there would be some questions. Cindy Lou wants to know how it's hanging. Who wrote that? Where's this? Bruce, how excited. Yes. How's it hanging, Cindy Lou? The only one that's asked that question.
You don't want the questions now, man. Trust me. You want to get used to this. Because once the questions come in, it'll be a question like, in consideration to the sun, the degrees considering you have the OPEX on, what happens when you bring down the OPM to the NO9? You'll see all the crap that people they ask questions, they don't even understand themselves what they're saying.
When will you? Brian Godoy wants to know when we'll be rocking. Well, that's a good question. I like Bruce. I've got a window out here too, so I look at this structure and I'm kind of wondering how long will it take. Usually I'm 90 days from start to finish on a small project like this, but with all the concrete and the piers and the calculating to make sure that pier was in the proper position for the mount, because I'm doing an alt mount. And that's 33 degrees. When you go 33 degrees and you go up, I think it was 28 inches on the arm length. That's why I'm locked in now to a plane wave mount. I can change any tube or any OTA, but when you get I'm stuck with the mount, so I have to order the plane wave L350 mount. Now that mount's $12,500. It sits on top of that concrete pier pylon that I built. So that's my biggest hinder at this point. I started out with $200,000 to do this addition, and I'm down to about $85,000 in the bank. That's just getting it to this point.
I'm happy you mentioned it, though, because I'm happy you mentioned it to give them an idea of how much it freaking costs. Because you've been telling me everything you've been saying.
Yeah, I talked to Bruce gang about this. Yeah, I've been discussing this with Bruce, and I'm confounded. Construction costs have just gone through the roof. And in Arizona, I mean, I paid $20,000 just for the concrete. I was able to do you can't hear my speaker has pooed itself. Oh, Tina Tuna's on. Is my, maybe I need to turn my volume. Let me try the volume here. How do you, Bruce?
Yeah.
Where can I change, can you hear my volume on my, I can mute it. How do I change that or adjust my volume?
The volume well, first of all, your volume, I bring my volume all the way down. I turn it off so that I can hear on the YouTube that I don't get double feedback. But the volume for YouTube, it would be in the control room, I guess, because I don't use the control room. I'm on OBS. The volume sounds good, man. It's not, it's other people. When somebody has a volume problem, it's not you. Often it's the other person. Because, yeah, Cindy hears you loud and clear, and so do I.
All right. Okay. We need to get you monetized. Yes, we do. So anyway, the mount is the biggest thing. What we got left. Then the camera after that. Cameras I can put on a credit card if I had to, but I don't. I've got 2 construction projects starting pretty soon here, which will give me some deposits.
Hey, Michael Hurd says, how long until first light?
First light.
You got a bunch of stuff going on.
We need to get you monetized. Volume sounds good. The volume is loud and clear. Okay, thanks, Cindy. Tina Tuna, I'm kind of perving it through the window, but I can hear just watching. All right, so how's New Zealand? Tina Tuna, isn't that where Tina Tuna is located?
Yeah, absolutely. She's in New Zealand, yeah. She's hearing you loud and clear. Actually, she wasn't. That's
good volume for us. All right, well then there's Bruce. Okay, so I'm back. But no, next I've got to get strap and shear inspection for the structure, but at the same time I'm doing remodeling on the old garage. I'm hoping my buddy over at the city will give me a strap and shear so I can start stucco wrap and put the roof on the 3-car garage and the observatory. Once that happens, in comes the dome, because I have to waterproof the building, and the dome will be erected, and we'll definitely get that on video. I've been really busy this week. I don't know if Bruce, you didn't mention that, did you? About my sister-in-law?
No, I didn't, man.
Yeah, I don't know, group. We had a family death. My wife's best friend, Tony Gaines, passed away a week ago yesterday, and that's really kind of hindered my work this week, and I apologize for that. But she was pretty
understandable, man. That's after your daughter had the accident too. There, this is all at the same time.
Right. But anyway, we've got, and she was pretty close to everybody.
Yeah, they were really friendly. Your wife was saying that, yeah.
They talk twice a day. Yeah, they talk twice a day. So, anyway.
Yeah. You're going to town, man. You can't go any faster than that. If I was to be building the observatory, they wouldn't even get a chance to see any building done for a whole year. I wouldn't be forgetting where you're at. But you're doing this alone, man. You're doing this alone with one guy all the time. One guy here, one guy there. So, yeah. I mean, we can see it on your video where the heck you're at. You're going to town there. They're on the verge of putting in the plugs. That's what I see. And you gotta wait for the inspection too. I think, hey, you gotta wait for the town now.
Yeah, I'm probably going to call Strap and Shear first. I got to call Mike Tibbetts at the town of Carefree and talk to him, see if he can just send somebody out to look at the strap and shear and the roof deck nailing, so that way I can get the electric started inside in the low voltage.
You gotta come down to Canada and get some sun.
Sun? Me? Frick, dude.
I don't know. I think I overdid it with the sun.
I think you've gotten too much sun, Bruce.
Oh, yeah. Definitely. Well, I'll be glowing by the time I get down to Arizona. I'll blend in real good.
Hey, are we allowed to smoke cigars on live YouTube?
Yes, you are.
We are. So we can smoke cigars.
You're even allowed to take a drink.
No, I'm not drinking. Well, I got Gatorade, see? Are you allowed to, I love Gatorade.
You can smoke, and the only thing I wouldn't do is advertise, like when you're on live streaming, the most possible not to have signs up behind you, not to have any radios playing at all. You don't hear any songs that are popular or have copyrights. And,
well, there's my LX, what do you call it? What is it, LX80 or LX8 right here behind me? That's it's a Meade LX.
you bought it, you bought that?
I bought that like 8 years ago, and it's actually a great telescope. It's 2,000 millimeter focal length, but it's an F10. It's a good machine. It works really good.
Oh, yeah.
Thanks, Robert. Robert, we are here. We are for you. Tina trying to read the lips. She's a lip reader. Robert, Tina, do you know how to sign language? There's only one sign language I know. Sorry, I can't do that on YouTube. Poor Tina.
I'm happy it's working good. What I never do is I never scream up the F word, and I never, there's always kids, even if it's not made for kids, the videos. I'm always careful with what I say. I never swear online, and I never, use the big words, because then you get have problems. But aside from that, everything else is opened up. When you talk about the COVID, you got to be careful, because you can't. It's a touchy situation. Now you'll see the new options that we have to fill out now about that too. So it's suppressing us a lot on YouTube. You got to sort of go around different ways to be able to talk. But,
right. Well, I just want to clear up, Bruce, what we're doing is what I'm doing to work with Bruce. And I don't know if everybody's really clear on this, is I've always wanted to second Bruce's work. Meaning I wanted to be able to back with video proof what Bruce is doing. Bruce sees all. I mean, both my wife and I both have seen UFOs here in Phoenix. Well, actually, I didn't see it in Phoenix. I saw it back in Illinois when I was growing up. But my wife out here in Glendale, when she was living in Glendale when she was 17 years old, witnessed a UFO. It couldn't have been anything else but a UFO because nothing moves, as she said, like that. So, I mean, that's kind of like, and I believe there are UFOs. Now you got the government talking about it. Nobody really talks about what the government came out at the end of April, admitting that there are UFOs and they encounter them all the time. So, you know, when you get back to Bob Lazar and all those guys, and they were talking about back in the 80s. Huh?
Yeah, something's coming.
Yeah, something's coming up. They just don't talk about it. Yeah, they just don't release information like that without a reason. So they're either...
Now something happened that for some reason information is being released about UFOs.
Right.
It's higher up in the elites, and they're trying not to get it out, but some people are trying to leak some out, and I think maybe that there's too many sightings now, and with them wanting to go to the moon, there's something they're going to have to start admitting there with this whole setup that they're doing there.
Oh, okay. Here is a question. Here's a good question. Is it Boson's mate? Boson's mate. Okay. I may have missed this, but have you decided which telescope you are fitting in your observatory? Go back to my videos. You'll see that I bought a 4,064 millimeter, 16-inch Meade OTA, and it's in my videos where I received it. The thing is huge. It makes Bruce look like a miniature. No, this thing is huge.
So you're going to have to put out the action.
But I need a mount to mount that to, and I've got the pier coming up through the observatory floor. I still got more framing to do up there, but it's a deck, and the deck will be about 4 feet off the finished floor of the office in the observatory, because I got to get up inside that dome to be able to work on the telescope and add different attachments and adjustments and all that good stuff. But all along, I've been buying 8K and 4K monitors. I've got two. I'm getting ready to do a build here on the channel on the computer. Bruce was telling me about how he bought a, what do you got, a Mac, Bruce?
Yeah, iMac Pro.
Yeah, Mac. Bruce has an iMac Pro, all built, cost him quite a bit of money. I'm like, well, I don't want to spend $12,000 on IBM, so instead of spending 12 grand, talked to my computer guy that actually helped us set the trusses. That's Jeff White from Carefree Connection. And he is actually going to help me. We're going to do a build. We'll do it on a video of building a $12,000 computer. We're putting in an i9 generation 10, 16 core, 32 thread processor into this thing. I've got the motherboard. That was $700. The case still hasn't shown up, so I'm waiting on the case, and we're waiting on the power supply before we can start assembling all the parts. But this thing is a huge undertaking as far as computer technology. I mean, this thing is liquid cooled. I priced it out. It was like $12,800 to buy it.
Yeah,
just to buy it, and it's going to end up being about $6,200 to build. So, and I'll teach people online how to put it together. So that's going to be kind of cool. So I hope you all look. Yeah, I think you guys can. It's really not that hard. It's just plug in and play. And the only thing you got to be able to do is get a computer guy to configure it after it's all up and running, tune it, because you don't want to burn up that processor. Because these things.
I appreciate your channel because you're explaining what you're doing, and some people want that information. Like, well, what's investing? What's it costing them to build an observatory?
Right.
I mean, $200,000. You jumped into it a couple of weeks after you're getting near to the end of the money thing. I mean, think of it.
not a blunt. Okay, this is Arturo Fluente cigars. I smoke 10 of these a day. And you'll see me in my videos with one hanging in my mouth, lit or not lit. It's just to keep me from eating. Actually, I've lost a lot of weight, but the big processor, Marty, Bruce sees all big processor is waiting for you. Yeah, I actually ordered it from.
That is big. I mean, listen, it's strong. When I bought my computer, man, I was telling you on the telephone, the iMac Pro, the way I wanted it, it was $28,500 Canadian dollars.
That's crazy.
No way in hell that I had the money for that. I cut everything down to be able to pay $10,000, maybe even a little less than that. But there's still a lot of, memory, RAM. It's small.
Well, it's the RAM, Bruce. It's the RAM, and we've got what we got on the RAM. I've done 128 megabyte RAM, and I can expand that up to 258.
Yeah, so you can have a lot of room, power, memory RAM, and
Right.
big RAM to be able to process all the programs. You'll be able to open shitload of windows and everything. And it shouldn't stop.
Give me in. Tuna wants to hit off the cigar.
Oh, yeah.
Arturo Fluentes. I tried sending Bruce a pack, but he just couldn't get the box.
No, it took months and months and months. Marty sent me a gift on top of it with the moon, which I showed you all, the community. It took months and months. It was during the pandemic. I think they heard anything that was coming, stayed at the customs or whatever. I don't know. It was a long time. You had to resend it, didn't you?
Yeah.
Send it back to you or something, then you had to resend it back again.
It was pretty much a cluster.
Christy too sent me some things, and I had problems receiving them. I had to reach her and tell her I didn't get it. Then all of a sudden it came in, but it came in two shots. Everything's open. They open everything you guys send me from the States. They open them up. They completely open up every package and they retape them. So it's funny that they do that.
Arnold Klump. Anyway, nice weekend, people. Welcome, Arnold. Trying to think. Yo, Bruce. Hey, Bruce. Arnold's got a question for you. I think.
Oh yeah. Anyway.
Will we get an exclusive premiere? Oh yeah. When hopefully we'll have it all up and running. The observatory when Bruce comes down for a visit. We're gonna have to fly Bruce. We're gonna have to fly Bruce down. Then we're gonna go head up for a couple of days. We're gonna spend the night up at Area 51. We're hoping that if we can hook up with UFO seekers or somebody up there that knows their way around up there, that'd be kind of cool.
Yeah, it's going to be a nowhere. What's going to happen is that we'll have the cameras, so all the footage we'll be able to get around there, and the people that are there hanging out about there, maybe even see some camel guys before I go back to Canada. I got to get an image of them. I want to walk up to the truck and I want to stick a flower on his mirror, and then I'll walk back, see if he kills me.
Dude, you touch a military vehicle out here, they arrest you.
Oh, for sure. No, I'm sort of going to be scary. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to be in the field on my knees with my two fingers pointing towards them and my head up in the sky, like I'm doing some kind of a trance to them or something. Maybe they'll drive away. Say, what does this weirdo do?
Tina Tuna, you want to crash it? Cindy Lou Who is going to, so we're talking Cindy, Christy, and Darla are going to come and crash the party. Well, didn't we invite you girls to come and service cocktails poolside? I thought that's what we did.
Be awesome. I'll be in the center of the pool.
Hopefully I'll have, Elmico, hi from Gilbert. Sweet. That's the guy that I think I talked to before, did I not?
Oh, yes.
He's in Gilbert. He's an amateur astronomer too.
Really happy to see that I have a lot of my community that's here, and I'm really. That's really awesome. And you're gonna get a lot of new people. You get a lot of new people coming on your end that I won't know. You know, and you're getting there, 600 some subscribers now. What you need is the hours.
Tina says I don't know what I'm crashing, but I'm up for anything. Haha. Nice, Tina.
Crashing parties.
Yeah. Anybody see my moon? My moon right there? That's a moon globe I picked up off of eBay.
Oh, did you get it after all? Yeah.
No, this is the full size globe moon. Look, look, Bruce.
Hey, that little scope behind you there, well, the little scope, yes, little compared to what we got now, but that's just like mine, eh? It's like the same size as mine. I think my Celestron. That would be, you know what? If I had
This has everything on
a
it.
small computer, you and I could bring a computer on batteries to Area 51, and we could actually film the. We wouldn't have to do that though.
So what?
No, we won't need that. We'll have the infrared. We'll be able to, like, with you and me together, we'll have 3-4 cameras, man. Just infrared to look at Area 51. We're going to see everything on the base, everywhere. We should go up to Teagaboo Peak. There's a whole bunch of places I want to know. I know that place like the back of my hand, man, and I've never been.
Cindy Lou, haha, 2 for me, 1 for you. What does that mean?
2 for me, 1 for you.
You see that? What is it? Cindy, what's that
I
mean?
don't know, maybe some competition.
Tina.
Who's got the biggest?
Oh, Cindy's explaining to Tina. Well, Tina's blonde, right? Uh-oh. Marty looks bigger. Well, I'm 6'1". Bruce, how tall are you?
How tall am I? I'm 5'10.5".
Yeah, I am bigger. See? Tina guessed right.
How tall did she say?
Well, she didn't. She just said Marty looks bigger. Cindy and then Cindy, well, you can see it there. LOL. Pugboy's laughing. Hey, Pugboy, where are you located? You in Britain or something like that, or UK?
UK, I think, yes.
Pretty sure. He went for coffee earlier.
Oh, yeah?
Bruce sees I'm 5'10 and a half. Yeah, Bruce, but when you get older, you start to dwindle. You shrink.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm 62, so, and everybody says, well, where's your gray hair? I got a little gray starting on the sides here. See that? And then I got a lot of gray in my mustache, my blonde. I've always been a dishwater
Every
blonde.
time I see gray hair, I cut it out. That's why I have
You gotta pull it. You gotta pull it, Bruce. Bruce is all mirror. LOL. What's it?
I said, oh yeah, I wanted to write objects in the air may seem closer than they appear.
I've got friends that are like, you know, because my hair salon tells me that my hair is so thick. She hates my hair because there's so many people with thin hair, and I'm her only client in 30 years that has thick hair. And every time I come in there, she double brooms the floor because it's.
Yeah. Does she comb through hair?
Oh, Jesus. And then her husband's like got a receding hairline, so I always go to him and say, if you really want to touch real hair.
Well, that's why Marty invited me.
He's in Wales. Pugboy's in Wales.
Oh yeah,
UK.
that's right.
That's cool.
Yeah, he's just across from the Queen, he said.
Wow. Come on, you guys. Got to have some questions here. There was, getting back to that question before. I could actually have this observatory probably running in 60 days. It could be that close.
Wow.
I could have it up and running if I had all the equipment, but I don't have all the equipment. I'm still shy of the camera. I'm still shy of the mount. The mount will take 1 week to get it here once I got the cash for that.
Are you going to invest in infrared, Marty?
Are
you going to get some infrared cameras?
Well, that FLIR camera is like 20 grand, Bruce.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's more than the mount and a camera together. So I gotta get the mount the OTA, which is the telescope tube, to the pier. So, and that comes with all the software. It has zero backlash. It's like one of the best mounts on the market for professional observing. It's zero backlash. I mean, it doesn't do this, wiggle as it moves.
Yeah.
There's no gears in it. It's gyro.
Yeah, you said that. Yeah, magnetic. So that's
it works off a magnetic, and you could push the scope down, and it'll go right back to where it was. It's all done with.
You'll be able you'll be able to move around.
The acquisition. Elmico wants to. Elmico. Am I saying the name right? Can you answer back on that? Elmico or Elmico? How is that pronounced? Am I saying it right? He wants to know the acquisition. Planeway supplies you with the acquisition software. Comes with the mount. That's usually the software that I'm going to use, definitely, because it's made for that mount. I don't want to go changing up a good thing because they're like one of the top mounts you can buy. The government uses their mounts for tracking missiles. So this thing is so fast, you can track anything with it if you can lock it. So that's where I'm going with.
Jim G here. Jim G's in the house.
Jim G, Tina. Hey, what's going on, Jim G? Quinn Lee.
Amazing supporters, both of them.
Everybody's here. Yeah. Thank you for coming.
Yeah, Quinn Lee. And right. That's why they're not asking questions or listening to us yet, pal.
They're listening to me and Bruce talk on the phone.
But it's the most interesting video, though. It's like you can pry on someone's conversation. It's always cool.
Right. Well, yeah. Go ahead and pry. You guys got questions for Bruce? Throw them out there, guys. Building a chicken house. Jim G's building a chicken coop, or am I building a chicken coop? It's actually a large chicken coop.
Jim G's.
I'm really worried.
He's always building something.
Well, he's into construction then, or has he got a farm or something? Jim, you got a
more a finishing type of guy, if I'm not mistaken. Maybe I'm wrong, but I think he does
small temporary for the chicks.
I think he does everything. He's jobs, always different jobs. Every time he's talking to me, the other day he was blowing up poplar trees, I think, or something, or something.
Nice. Blowing up stuff.
He's the one that his brother was working at NASA.
He's got a mini farm, 5 acres. That's nice.
Yeah, he gave me all those badges. Jim G's the one that gave me the badges for all those astronaut badges from his brother. His brother was working at NASA, receiving people at NASA.
Jim G, your brother worked for NASA. I have a father-in-law that worked for NASA during the Saturn. We actually have parts of the spacesuit, and I don't know if I should talk about it.
You gotta show that in the video, an upcoming video of the space love.
I can go get it. It's in my son's room. He's actually got a astronaut glove that goes on the spacesuit. He was given by my father-in-law. He worked down at Cape Canaveral. He worked for. He was in the prep room, and he was telling me when they came back from the moon, he actually has moon dirt. Moon does. He has 2 vials of it. He was able. What they did was they brushed off when they got all their stuff. They just didn't leave their spacesuits. They had to bring the spacesuits back with them. And the guys that were on the moon were full of dirt, dust. Every time they walked around on the moon. Yeah, and they brought this stuff back. And my father-in-law brushed the stuff off, ended up with 2 vials, about, I don't know, maybe 3-4 grams in each vial. And he has it.
Yeah, don't brag about it.
Yeah, don't brag about it. But anyway, he's got the dirt. I don't have the dirt. I have a glove. Well, my son has a glove. And I'm not going to mention his name, who he is. They have to do their own figuring out. He's in the hospital on his deathbed right now, so we just hope that he lives a little longer. He's just a great man. You want to talk about a guy? I wish Bruce, you could meet him and talk to him, because he'll tell you anything and everything you want to know about NASA.
Freaking awesome.
He worked for Bechtel. He worked for Bechtel, which was a contractor for NASA, and that's where he got.
Okay, so this is what I want to say. This is I don't want to destroy your life, but I want to tell you that is the big secret. Every single person that worked on any mission to the moon, any Apollo mission to the moon, were hired contractors.
They're all contractors. Exactly right.
Yeah.
That's how they did it. That's how they did it.
It's impossible for that story to come out, because it's one person knows one thing, one person knows one thing. You mentioned something about, I know the guy who died last year that was the grade 8 education, who did the entire blueprint. I saw it with my own eyes to the Apollo landing, which he tells me I'm just not allowed to mention which Apollo landing. It's the one you guys think. And he showed me a croquis of everything he made for the oxygen masks. The oxygen boxes. I call it a box. It was.
That's what Jim did. They were quality control. Jim did his group, since they were the ones working with the astronauts and their air filtration systems. Him and like 15 other guys that worked for Bechtel went into the room. They were given a pile of crap that they had on the lander and what they had to work with, and they came up with that duct tape, filter, and a hose to be able to scrub the air, because they had too much carbon monoxide building up in the lens. And
that's incredible.
Yeah, so they came up with that. That was 13, but he was there during it, and he was also there for 11. So he finally.
He did the same thing, man. He did the same thing that you said that you're
right. He probably knows who my father-in-law is. That guy. If you're able to get in contact with him.
I have the names here.
Yeah. I don't need the names. Yeah, don't give out the names, but you can use first names. But
Well, I can't mention his name. I'll mention it to him in person, but I can't mention.
Yeah, you know who. I told you who what Jim's name was. If not, I can tell you later.
Yeah, right.
Because he was in charge. He was the guy in charge of quality control for Bechtel for the Saturn missions. He ran quality control. Yeah.
Incredible. Those are people I want.
So he's that's what I'm saying. He would be a great guy to even have on YouTube, just answering some questions. But he's got a little dementia. He's got dementia kicking in, and he's got Parkinson's, and now he's got issues with health issues. So he's going down.
Thing. Everybody that kept the secrets of what was on the moon, they started getting old. They started getting dementia. They're going to start forgetting. It's pretty incredible when you think of it.
Jim G. Darla. I don't see Darla. Darla had to go grocery shopping. Otherwise, I'm sure she'd be.
She's gone grocery shopping. Yeah.
Well, she had to go after yours. I'm sure her husband was waiting.
Probably that's what they're doing. A lot of people moving around here because it's just so warm. It's hot. It's 35 degrees next week. They're announcing it's supposed to be really hot and humid. So we're going to get the summer these next 2 weeks there, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
There'll probably some snow after that to wash it all away.
Jim G checking them out, saying, "Yep, girls, pretty soon he's a horny little devil." That's Jim. Jim, don't take that crap from them.
He had a great education, man. He was working for another company. All these guys lost their wives because they were working
hours.
They were basically sleeping on the base and going to bars at night.
That's exactly right, because Jim was married to another woman, and she divorced him when they were down in Florida because he spent all his time at the Cape.
Absolutely.
And he couldn't get off. He could not get off. Get out of there, because when you're in charge of a department, you're stuck.
Yeah, they don't want you leaving. They want you.
They want you there.
To remain there. They want to check you out. It's spotting you for sure.
Right, and his kids are pretty good. That side of the family's pretty good. They're good guys. One's a truck driver, and the other one has passed away.
That guy, man, did the same thing as you, though. He pulled the astronaut suits when they brought the astronaut suits back.
Hug boy.
He said the suits were drenched, and it was full of sand and rocks in the bottom of the seat.
Well, yeah, it was dust. It's all the crap. I mean, there's no real gravitation there, and it's just like they drove on that rover. The rover, yeah. Well, the rover really didn't. I don't know if it had wheel fenders on it or not. I don't know why they would put fenders on it, but maybe they did on a second, third one. I have to go back and look at the video. But
that thing was made with candy bar papers, those gold Arrow candy bar papers. Just
foil.
Whatever.
Foil.
You look at that thing, you say it went to the moon and back through the Van Allen belts, and it brought back a whole bunch of rocks. Holy crap.
Tina's going. I think Tina's going by. Bye, Tina. Thanks for coming. Maybe
Thank you, Tina.
Now, how does this work, Bruce? Does this thing automatically go to...
No, it will not go off. So you're going to have to end live stream. You have to go back into the control room, and you're going to you say goodbye, everyone, and I'm going to take off, and then you go in the control room, and you can end the stream. Be sure to see that your camera's off on top. It stays on for another 2-3 minutes sometimes, so don't get into your boxers right away. Once you stop the live stream, but in general, you have to turn it off because it'll never stop. It'll always keep.
Tina, too. You guys are awesome. Well, thank you, Tina. Tina's a caregiver. She takes care of the sick. She takes care of the sick. She's probably at work right now working because it's the middle of the night. Thanks, Tina, for taking time.
That's the place. You see what El Mico said?
El Mico, my uncle worked for Grumman, built the lunar rover. Sweet.
That's exactly.
See, that's what I'm saying. We're all descendants of all these people that work for NASA, or one way or another, are interconnected. It's, what do they call that? You know somebody. What is that called? When you know somebody, there's that.
I know what you mean.
What do they call that, people? When you know somebody, there's every 10 or 20 people, they know somebody you know. What do they call that? Somebody's got to know.
Yeah, I know what you mean. It's a small world, but I don't know. That's my conclusion to it. It's a small world.
Okay. Bruce is asking a question.
Yeah, that's where he worked. He worked at Grumman's, and I got pictures of the guy.
Grumman,
they call you.
Grumman, Grummond, I think. Grumman.
Maybe it was Grumman. It was Grumman and something. The name of it was called Grumman and something, or something in Grumman. And they were, the ones that I know was digital guys. They were doing all the digital, the electric and the wiring and the breathing apparatus.
They built the hardware, right? It was all the hardware.
And El Mico mentioned that he said D-Day, he was the first infantry. Oh, that's good to know.
Yeah, the other big hardware supplier, which is the biggest, I didn't know it. My friends went to work for it. I went to high school with a buddy of mine, John Gazinski. He worked for Harris Semiconductor. They are the biggest hardware supplier to NASA. They supply all the freaking hardware for all those rockets. It's Harris, Harris. There's Harris Semiconductor. They are actually the largest employer in the state of Florida. I didn't realize that. They're huge. They're big, hard. Oh my God. And
he said it. El Mico said that his uncle was working on the rover, and it's exactly that the family I know here were working on. They were working on the rover. There was 5 or 6 guys in the image, and I'll share it on the channel at one point. Maybe even now Nico will recognize some of the people that were working. Again, I don't know which Apollo mission it was. I think I'm not really allowed mentioning what it's one of the ones around the 60s. Either right that one or the one right after. It could be Apollo 17. I'm not sure. I'd have to look back into things, but he gave me all the names of. He sent me pictures of all the temporary astronauts. Man, they're all 5 feet, 5'2". They're really small guys. These astronauts, because they got to get into these cramped up places and shit.
Pugboy says, "Cover your camera." Well, I've got my little rubber thing here somewhere.
Yeah, that's what I do. I always cover my camera. Every time I'm done, I got the paper that goes up on it for sure.
I don't have paper. I actually have a lens cap. What happened to it? Somewhere here in my messy desk, there's a. It's under my phone. It's under my phone. I got a little cap to go up there and cover over the camera when I'm done. But it's only on when it's got a little blue pilot light on it. It tells you when it's on.
Yeah, exactly. Mine goes on by itself once in a while. It freaks me the hell out.
Well, I would be freaked out too if you didn't turn it on and all of a sudden it turns on.
Yeah, but man, the trolls sent me a video of me talking in the house, man.
What?
They turned on my camera.
Well, you gotta disconnect you gotta unplug your computer from the internet, so they can't do that.
Oh yeah, it's unplugged. But I was sitting here at home and somebody sent me an image of me sitting at my computer, and they said we're watching you. See, these are little trolls that are networking trolls. They have a little bit of power over hacking someone, and then they try to pass off for anonymous or this big association is going to hack you and. Sometimes they could be big hackers. These kids are hacking the government, for Christ's sakes. It's 12, 13 years old, and they're hacking the FBI. It was just in the news the other day by an application. This kid hacked into the NASA the other day. It's like, what the heck?
Ever since I was thinking, you're talking about, FBI and all that, CIA put a new building, where, from 9/11, where those guys out in Deer Valley Airport, where the Deer Valley Airport is, they have a new CIA building up that's like 6 stories, fully fenced in. Right. No name on the street, no name on the building at all. It just has an address, but it's got security. It's got things that come up out of the roadway, the block. They're big pylons that come out of the ground. And everybody knows who it is. It's got to be either FBI or CIA, but they just don't put up a 6-story building at the end of a runway next to an airport where these Islamic guys went and trained to fly jets,
6-story building at the end of a runway, that's pretty common.
Yeah, I know, but the thing, it's right there along the edge of the runway on the inbound flights, because I go by it all the time when I go to one of my suppliers, and you see this building, it went up like, 6-7 years ago, and it just sits there, and they got like 100 cameras up on top. There's all sorts of satellite communications up there, and you can't see the parking garage. It's all underground. It's like a bunker. That thing is a bunker. But I'm sure anybody that goes to Deer Valley Airport for, out of the country training to learn how to fly a jet, I'm sure is very highly scrutinized. Huh?
I believe all the airports, man, they probably have CIA bunkers and Area 51 like bases underneath them.
Yeah, I know about that.
World. How can I say it? The religion is set up to do a certain thing and hide a whole bunch of stuff for the elites. And then you got all these associations, then you got the police, then you got the government lawmakers, and in reality, nobody themselves together know what's going on. They each have their own little departments, and they only know what they have to know. So the secret's always hidden. Like nobody finds anything out.
Right.
Always little
Elmico's got a question here. Being a builder in the valley, Marty, do you know Tom Hugh, Hanson Construction? No, I do not. I'm up in Carefree, North Valley. Used to build for another friend of mine over in Mesa. Did some couple of projects over there. I did Arizona Golf Resort out there in Mesa for Moline Construction when I first came here 30 years ago. But no, I don't know Hanson Construction. My company's Holmes Construction. There's Holmes and Son Builders, or Holmes and Son Construction, which is a more commercial. They do high rise and highway. But I'm the only Holmes Construction.
What about the Holmes Construction? That big famous guy.
Oh, Mike Holmes.
Yeah, any relationship?
According to my cousins in Canada, we are second or third cousins to that guy. I don't know. He kind of looks like me a little bit, but I've got more hair.
Yeah,
but I got more hair than he does.
I said, holy crap,
Yeah.
maybe it's his brother.
No, it could be brother, but he is supposedly, according to my cousins in Canada, up in Paris, Brantford, Ontario, where my whole family is from. Where we came down here in the 50s. My whole family came down here during the 50s to America, and my brothers, and we all had green cards. And when I turned 18 or 21, whatever it was, I became a U.S. citizen. I had the opportunity to choose. My brothers didn't, but I did. But and I became American. My little sister, who's passed on before me, she was born here in the United States. She was the only one that actually was born in the United States and a true American. But my whole family is Canadian. I don't speak any French else than what is it, Kool-Aid for Kool-Aid? I think my grandma taught me.
Yeah.
She's all gone.
That's a good thing. People are going to want to know that about you. That's a lot of good information. This is an interesting live stream for your first one.
Well, I got Bruce Schwartz. I got Bruce Schwartz live on my phone.
Yeah, important call. Makes you sound more important.
You are impotent. You're impotent, I heard. You only got one son, right? That you know of, right?
What'd you say, sorry?
I said you only got one son that you know of, right?
That I know of? Yep. Only one son. That's enough.
I worked at a bar, so I don't know how many I got out there. Working at a bar for 4 years when you're a kid. I was 18 years old working at the #1 bar in Chicago. We'd have, I don't know, 1,000 people in line to get in that bar every night.
There's a lot of homes here in Montreal, H-O-L-L. Yes, well.
Yeah.
You never know, man.
No, that was back in Illinois. There was a bar called Scornabacos. It was like back in the disco days, early 80s, late 70s. And I was just getting out of high school. I was 18 years old, and I went to work for my buddy Mike, which I was introduced through my buddy Pat. And Pat turned around. He ended up being GM, and I ended up being bar manager, floor manager. And you got two colleges there. You got Barrett College, and you got Lake Forest College. Barrett College is an all-women's school. Ooh. And lucky me. Yeah. But
so how are your grades?
I sowed a lot of oats. Put it that way. I sowed a lot of oats in my days back when I was a lot skinnier than I am now, and it's just I was like a chick magnet because Pat was a little heavy back then, but he had a Corvette. I was driving a Ford Pinto, avocado green Ford Pinto, working at a bar, but I always went home not alone. But Pat in his white Corvette, he was hit and miss,
Yeah. Well, I was thin in my mother's stomach. That's the only time in my life I was thin.
Well, you probably weren't even born. Were you even born during the disco? No, you were a baby at that. Oops, I got to careful my butt.
Well, I was born 75.
75, yeah, well.
At the end of Vietnam.
You were only about 4 years old then during disco.
That's it, yeah.
Yes, Elmico, I will be doing, and I will have the capability to do mobile. I'm going to set up several live stream cameras around the inside the observatory. Hell, I wish I could. I wish I could take. I wish I could take the desktop and kind of show you guys around. You know, maybe I could do that, but I can live stream with my mobile phone, can't I?
Yeah, like you did with me when we were talking.
Yeah, I was showing Bruce, but we were doing Messenger through Facebook, and I was walking around showing them. That's before we even broke ground, or was it?
Yeah, it was at the beginning.
That was at the very beginning. That was like 6-8 weeks ago. I walked Bruce around the site. I said, I'm going to tear this out. I'm going to tear this out. This has got to go. I got to remodel this part of the house. I got to empty the pool. The pool had water in it back then. My family isn't really talking. My family isn't really talking. Cindy just wrote something. I'm sorry, Cindy. Yeah. But yeah, I like to be able to do that live stream and kind of show, because I'm going to be doing a lot of wiring for this thing up there in the office. Well, this is my construction office out in the guest house, which is a separate building from my main house. But I use this for my construction office. So, and I got bookkeeping up in the front, which is not that way. That way is the garage. I got a 4-car garage on the other side of the cabinet wall, but this way.
I'm going to spend 4 days when I go down there just filming cactuses.
Yeah. Hell, I'll ship you. You want a saguaro? I'll ship you one.
Yeah. I'd love to see that being shipped here to see their faces.
What happens though to a saguaro when it freezes? It creates that. It cups in, and then when it freezes, and then it goes back to normal. So it creates like a woman's hip. You know, you understand what I'm saying, Bruce?
Yeah.
When a saguaro grows naturally, it's nice, big, 12. I mean, some of these things get 2 feet in diameter. They're just huge, and then you get multi-arm. You know, so they come down and then they go up. But when a saguaro freezes, it doesn't die. It creates like a bottleneck, or like a woman's figure, you know what I'm saying? Where it gets tight, and then you'll see a saguaro, and then it gets fat again. All right, that's what happens when saguaros freeze. So if you had a saguaro planted in your yard, you would have yearly. It would look like what do you call it? Like a caterpillar, you know? Type of deal.
That's cool, actually.
Just a little information. That's what happened. Jim G, I will be 57 June 17th. Well, we got a birthday, but July coming up. Jim, what are you going to do? Are you going to have a party? You going to invite us all? And then I answered Cindy Lou says they won't let you do from phone until you have 1,000 subs. Okay. You hear that, Bruce? We got to get 1,000 subs. How many subs do I have, people? I got 5 this morning from your live stream, Bruce.
What did you say, man? Oh, yeah.
I got 5 live streams. Let me go to my. See, I'm not like Bruce. I got multi. Oh, I am live here. It's showing me live. Yeah. What the heck? Playlist. I'm looking at it. I must have been when I was trying to play around. I get a bunch of stuff. Input tech, video. 617 subscribers. That's what I was looking for.
Yeah, Cindy said there's 617.
So I got a ways to go. Once we hit 1,000, we'll be able to go mobile around the site. That's good to know.
Yeah, exactly.
Thanks, Cindy. Yep, Cindy says 617. Yep. Jim, I never do anything but work and take care of my wife. She has COPD and emphysema. Oh, dude, that's a lot of work. I've taken care of
two.
two.
I remember him telling me that. Yeah.
In the last 5 years, my stepmother has died. I had to take care of her for 1.5 years. And she lives about 20, 30 minutes south where she did. And then, well, let's see. And then, who was the next one that died? Shoot. Oh, and then my father-in-law, Jim, or John Weckeser. Yeah, that was Tammy's father. He died. And Tammy took care of that, but I took care of all the legal stuff on that for her. I'm pretty good that way, doing the legal and dealing with lawyers, and I'm very good dealing with numbers, making numbers work when I can. But now we got her sister that just passed on a week ago, and that was my wife's best friend. They talk on the phone in the morning, and they would talk on the way home from work. And she was on disability, but it's just heartbreaking. And I may even what do you call that? When you do the video, dedicate the video in my next video, but I'm not too sure. I really don't have that much this week because I haven't really done a lot around the house here or on the site.
Hey, listen, there's no rules on having to put up a video a day. You're building.
Well, I've been trying to do a video a week, Bruce. I've been trying to,
Well, of course, but that's plenty. You're building the construction. You have your own construction business. Me, I'm doing this full time. Of course, I'm always posting every day because that's what I'm offering them. I want to post every day, but I mean, I'm not building an observatory right now there. But the big thing I think you're good, man. With the videos you're taking out, like for example, somebody who doesn't know you right now, if he goes on your channel,
you think it's a construction channel, but no, we're not a construction channel. Bruce, it's all Bruce's fault that portraying me as a construction company building an observatory. It's Bruce's fault. I blame Bruce because he said, well, show the build. People love that shit. All right. Well, I mean, I want to second Bruce. It's going to be totally different once I get up and move this operation or built with the new computer and everything up there, you won't really see me too much in this office. It's going to be shot up there, and I don't even know what the acoustics are going to be like up there. How there's nothing in here. I don't even have any carpet or curtains on the wall in here, so I don't know if it's tinny or not. We'll have to do some.
I want to fly over the desert on a drone.
Oh, my drone! You want to see my drone? This is my drone cabinet right here. All drone. I got power in here. This is my DJI drone. Folds out.
There's a little delay. I'll wait till it comes in.
Yeah, it comes in. There's that. Take the battery right there.
Oh, it's far away. I still don't see
and I'll bring it in. So. I'll bring her in. This is my Mavic 2. Right? We'll bring it up in there. This is a Mavic 2. I can control this about 4.5 miles away. This thing, I've sent it over from the office here over to my building, Sky Ranch Airport. I'm not supposed to fly by an airport, but I only keep it about 100 feet off the ground. I go across the golf course. If you've ever been to Arizona, there's a golf course, and every half a mile there's a golf course here. But this is a drone, and I check out the job site every so often from sitting in here in my office. I don't even have to be outside. But this baby, it flies for about 25 minutes. I get 25 minutes. This is the Mavic 2 telephoto. I didn't do the Hasselblad because I didn't want it's got a little gyro here. This goes up and down. But once it starts up, if I turn it sideways, this thing stays perfectly level. And if it's windy and getting blown, this thing stays perfect. The camera always stays perfectly level. It's really kind of a cool, great technology. China did a good job on it, I guess. These are the same drones that Trump was complaining about. They also have a few of the bigger ones, but this drone does great 1080 video. I gotta do some adjustment. It's a great drone, and
it doesn't look heavy either, right?
No, this thing's not even maybe a pound.
Well, I can't get over the way that stops really fast in the air and then you turn, and that there's no shaking. It's hovering like a bloody spacecraft.
Right. Well, here, I'll show you. This is how it. All right, Bruce, you gotta listen. This is if you're a DJI guy. Listen, when this thing boots up.
Yeah.
You hit the power once, and you hold it. Listen. All right. Listen. When this thing boots. No card in it. Yeah. You hear the little music? Da, da, da. Yeah.
It's starting now.
See how the watch the camera on that. That gyro keeps that camera. If the wind could be blowing it sideways, but see how the camera stays perfectly level. It's got a built-in gyro. It's got a built-in gyro. So the wind could be blowing it, and it'll hold position. See how that?
That is cool. But it was incredible because I'm telling you, at one point it was so straight. I said, "That's not a drone."
Yeah, it's perfect.
They got a camera and a tripod.
They use these things in video. I mean, in the video now. I mean, shooting cinematic. I mean, the quality output on these things is unbelievable. They make them. I think they.
Give me that drone there. Let me.
It was $1,400.
Like that, I'd make a fortune as a photographer. I mean, you see them over the canyons and everything, and oh my God, it's just incredible. The views that you can get with those drones, and that's a good drone. That was an expensive one too, eh? That was
about $4. Yeah, it's a Mavic 2. I think they're about $1,200.
That's still not bad.
The batteries are, I'm sure, $100 a pop.
I know you can get them a lot cheaper, but they're not. Nothing.
Yeah, they're not. It's not a DJI. It's got to be. I wanted quality. You know where I picked that up was from. I picked this up. The reason I went with it was my brother knows Casey Neistat, who does blogging. My brother lives in Jersey, but he's friends with Casey Neistat. And then I started following Casey Neistat, and that's how I found you. Because I was just searching UFOs, and I was watching. I'm an avid follower, and during the OTA opening, when I opened up the OTA, I said, I feel like I'm Casey Neistat. He moved to California. Why he went to California from New York is beyond me, but.
Absolutely.
But
Marty, do they make drones with IR capability?
Maybe with now you got to remember, Cindy, there's 2 or 3 videos out with DJI drones. You know what? They shoot 60 frames per second. I can shoot 30, 60. Yeah. And remember, if you go on, you Google drone footage, UFO drone footage, every one of them were from a DJI drone, because they shoot 60. You can set that up in high definition to shoot 60 frames per second.
I mean, making a video in Area 51, hearing the drone, seeing the UFO, it just adds to the excitement. They make amazing videos, and that you could follow a UFO with that, no friggin' problem.
Well, that's what my question is. Yeah, cigar. No filters on these things. Anyway, I'm wondering, if we took the drone, we sent it up. You know, you can't see over the mountain, Bruce. But if we were over at Area 51, if I just sent the drone straight up a mile and then looked back toward Area 51, what would they do?
Exactly.
Would they shoot it out of the sky? I don't know.
Well, honestly, I hope they would, because we get one hell of a video.
The camel jockey shoots down my drone. I wasn't over. Where's my life?
You know, what's going to happen is basically we're going to try to get it to go up, and it's going to go out of control, and it's going to smack into the camel dude's window.
And then we get arrested. Then we get arrested for damaging government property and arrested, for attacking the camel jockey guys, the security.
Will they leave me film in the car? You think? Probably not. They won't let me continue my movie during the arrest.
Oh, I know.
Can
Yeah.
I film this guy?
You don't mind to film.
My YouTube channel. So when I'm down there in Area 51, you can be sure as hell I'm not going to tell anyone I'm from Canada.
Right. Thanks,
The minute the coffee gets there, and she's a
Castro's here Castro's in the house. Where's Castro from? Castro T, where are you from? Jim G knows.
I'm not sure.
Jim G, got Cindy. Make sure if you do, you're filming it for sure. Yeah, definitely, Cindy. Well, Cindy, aren't you and your husband coming down for the? I've got a resort a block and a half away from my house. There's like this resort. What is that thing called? I'll have to get the information. But if people want to come down, yeah, I don't have a problem with it. I just can't put everybody up. I've got couch space for Bruce. That's about it, unless one of my kids moves out, and then I got a bedroom for him. But my guest house is an office, so.
Well, what I wanted to do was have my, the setup, a big monitor in the front, showing the UFOs that I'm capturing, that at one point will be capturing.
The camera
and make a seminar right in front of the people. I mean, Jesus. I mean, I wanted to do that in Montreal, but it's just the money right now that I don't have. But that's something in the future that I will definitely be doing. I mean, think of it. Big monitor, setting up, showing the UFOs winding left and right, the smokes and hazes on the moon, and then having a whole bunch of people come to the screen. That would attract thousands of people. It would be so amazing.
Oh, an outdoor seminar in public. If you can get a permit, you can get a permit for that, and then you're going to need the jumbotron in the center of what? You're in what? Montreal? No, you're in Quebec, downtown Quebec. What's the city? Quebec? Yeah.
Me where I am? No. I'm literally in Montreal. I'm just on the outskirts of Montreal.
Right, but doesn't Montreal have like a center thing? I mean, would they even let somebody like that?
Yeah, here's the thing. This sounds good. Yeah, there's a whole bunch of them. There's one right here at the Parliament in Quebec, right close to the I think it's the courthouse or something like that. I'm supposed to go down this summer. Remember when I was mentioning to you about that? I wasn't going to mention to anybody, Marty.
Yeah.
About that radio station.
Right.
That's something I never.
That's New York.
Really re-mentioned.
Right.
Yeah, because I was reached by a real radio station in Quebec City. And he told me not to tell anyone, and he told me to keep it quiet, hush until he reached me. But right now, not much is going on. But some of these associations, even as far as, I probably shouldn't be mentioning the names, but DARPA and stuff like that, I've had some people communicate me from DARPA. Whether they are from DARPA or not, that I will never know, because I have a shitload of trolls pretending they're so-and-so people, but I do believe that they're interested in some of the work, but they're going to try to go around me and not necessarily say, hey, we're the government, we want to see what you're doing. So maybe invite me down there to see my work and stuff. Because I'm supposed to, this summer, I'm supposed to be in Quebec City this summer doing standing in front of over 1,500 people talking about my research. And I'm supposed to bring down my black boxes. And again, it's on hold, so I don't know what's going on. I get so close to being able to do it. And then I said, I don't need them. I can do this myself. I have the research, and I believe I have enough wits to be able to present a good enough presentation to look professional enough.
Dude, you got hours. You got hundreds of hours of video, Bruce. And then bonus mate, bosoms mate. Yeah, I think that's what it's called. Just watch your video showing the telescope. Very nice. Which mount have you opted for? The Plane Wave L350. It's only got 100-pound capacity, but it's all I really need and all I can afford. But no, you're not being a pain in the ass. I like it when people ask questions about the equipment. I'm trying to find out, and I've asked Bruce, because I'm worried about the focal length and what camera. And every time you get, and you look at these calculators they have online. There's one that I go on, and it's called Bitnell. It's a supplier in the UK or over in New Zealand or something like that over there. I think it's.
Yeah, they talk about the focal length.
They talk about the focal length, and you get the distortion. What do they call that distortion? Where you can't zoom in, and then it just makes everything all blurry. And that's called oversampling. It's called oversampling.
Yeah, exactly. That's why they told me that they didn't want to sell me a Barlow. They said, no. You're not going to do anything with a Barlow. You're going to be
oversampling the picture, and you won't be able to focus. So, with that taken into consideration, getting past the mount, with the L350, it is so smooth. You don't see the movement. That's how smooth it is. The L350 is a magnetic mount. You ought to go on it. They're located, I think, in Denver. No, they're in California. I take that back. They're located in California. I work with Sarah, the owner of Woodland Hills Telescope, and she's really, she's a salesperson technically, but she'll sell me anything I want. But I keep asking everybody I talk to, what about the focal length? What about the camera? I need a camera. I cannot afford to go buying 10 different cameras before I finally get it right. But what the calculators tell me is I need a pixel size for that focal length at 4064. They're telling me I need a 9 by 9 pixel size or larger, like an 11 size pixel. That doesn't give you great focal or be able to zoom in before it starts to pixelate. It's going to pixelate a lot faster than you. Remember, I was looking at the Zoe 6200 that has a megapixel size per frame, 62 megapixels, 62,000 megapixels. That I would never be able to. I'm going to buy one someday because it would be good for deep space, but for the moon.
Well, see, that's what I'm doing, brother. The next investment, like when I get the big telescope, it'll be all set up to do it all. It'll be set up to do the stars, to do the moon, and I'll be doing that. And I'm still going to have the 14 here. I will have a 14-inch, I'll have a 25 or 30-inch scope outside. Both of them set up in the sky, and hopefully an observatory at one point, more stable. And yeah, it's going to be incredible what we're going to be able to catch with that. I mean, in general, the setups for people, what they're using, are not that expensive because it's very expensive. I couldn't have afforded my setup. My telescope was $15,000 with the option and the cameras and everything on it. And, it's just so expensive to buy telescopes. So most people have setups like 10 inches maximum, 10 or 11-inch scopes. They usually have 5-inch scopes. Most of the YouTube channels have 5-inch telescopes. And,
They're $1,000 piece of equipment, and you ain't going to get no more than $1,000 worth of zoom. It's all about, and people have the wrong interpretation about, I talked to an astronomer that has 5 locations around the planet. This guy is heavily invested. I talked to him for about 2 hours on a video chat. He was given to me by one of your guys on your channel. He was a plumber. And this guy, his name is Mr. Merritt. And I have his direct cell phone. He was so nice. Jeff Porter, he's a painter. His first name is Jeff. He's the one that sent me the information to talk to this guy. And he was explaining to me about being able to focus with such a fine megapixel, high megapixel with such a great, you'll never be able to focus the camera on the surface. When you go to zoom in, it's just going to be a blur. And
I don't agree with any of it.
Until I try it, but I don't have $6,000 to piss away. On a camera, I could buy it, try it, and then send it back and say that maybe there was something wrong with it. Elmico, I want to go for the moon. I want to answer a question here. Elmico asks, are you going to use mono with the filters or color? I do want to shoot the moon like Bruce does in color. I want to be able to shoot the moon in color. So I'm looking for a large pixel astronomy camera that will actual focus and compensate for the focal length for shooting the moon. And there are a couple, but they're $12,000, and they're CC cameras. Yeah.
That's my next investment. My next investment is the camera, the C camera. That's
Right.
exactly what I'm going to go get.
Well, you're using a land-based camera. You're using a Nikon 850, and the Nikon 850. I mean, I can buy one. You know, they're only $2,900, but I mean, just for the body, and then get an adapter to put on the telescope. Or we can do that. Bring your adapter when you come down. We'll try your camera on my scope and see what we can see on the moon. You know, we just got to make sure when you come down. Yeah, but when you come down, we want to make sure you come down when the moon's out.
Yeah.
All right? Don't you agree, gang? I mean, Bruce comes to visit. We want him to be here when the moon's out because he can experience what, you know, an observatory can do with when the moon's sitting there with no movement. I mean, I will be able to zoom right in. You know, I've been on for an hour, 21 minutes. It only seems like about a half hour. Is it too long to be on? Or no? You get in trouble for going over an hour?
No. You can stay on for 24 hours. I know some people that live stream 3 times a day.
Cindy says her P9 with a P1000 she's got goes 3,000 focal length with 4x digital zoom.
Yeah.
But that's digital, right? I want focal. I want real lens because that's where you get the clarity.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, digital blurs it out. Yeah, you can't really zoom in with digital. It becomes pixelated too soon. You got to have lens.
Like Elmico says, he says there's people who use inexpensive webcams and get good results, and that's not something true.
No, that's not true at all. Yeah, whatever. I know what I know what he's saying.
Fast exposures, and it's true. You know, then you can stack them in red stacks. That's another way.
Right.
There's many ways.
Yeah, you take individuals, but we want to get the movement. I want to be able to back Bruce's work. I need to be able to shoot 30, 60 frames a second to be able to get the movement. And it's like Bruce says, you're talking a half a second. You got to watch frame by frame by frame. And I don't think people really realize the time Bruce spends looking for this stuff on the moon. You guys really realize? You don't. Think about it. If he's shooting 30 frames a second and he picked up when he gets that thing coming off the moon and then it goes away from the camera from the earth and goes around the backside and comes back around, that's only like a third of a second. You know how long it takes for him to find something like that? You guys even have an idea on how long it took him.
I miss a lot too.
I'm sure you miss. You probably miss stuff every day, every time you look at it and review it. Unless you're looking frame by frame, and then you got to look at the whole thing, and then you got to go back and compare to the frame before. You guys just don't. I don't think people understand the time. It's not. He's not manipulating the photo or the video. He's looking for differences between frames, and he can't. With the viewers, they don't give you an overlay to see if something's moving. You got to compare it in your mind, in your head, to see, oh, wait a minute, there is something moving there. And then he's got to go back and where does it start? Where does it come up from? And then where does it go? It could only, and when you watch that clip that Bruce plays, he's played it over and over in several different videos, showing it different ways. That clip is worth millions of dollars. I mean, to me, that's huge. That's the biggest discovery that's showing proof that something's up there taken off from the moon, and he captured it. Now, if me, Carefree Observatory, can turn around and replicate the same thing, and he's shooting from Quebec, Canada, and I'm here in the United States, and we're shooting from two ends of the continent, and we capture that, I'm going to leave it up to Bruce to look through the video. because I don't have time. Marty doesn't have time to review all this, to review all this footage, you know. And if he finds something and we're shooting together, Marty, at hour so and so, I pick something up, and I got to go back and download, you know, pull that video and see, you know, because we'll timestamp it, and then I'll start looking at it, or I'll send it to Bruce, let him look at it, vice versa. It doesn't matter to me.
Yeah.
But the whole thing is, if he gets it and then I captured it at the same time, now we've got two observers recording the same instance in the same object raising off the moon. You can't say no to that. Not one person can deny two separate entities recording the same thing, and then all of a sudden, poof. It's just, but then I have a sneaking suspicion, though, Bruce, it ain't going to go very far, because the United States turned around and said and admitted that they run into UFOs all the time, and nobody cared.
Yeah, exactly.
Now, I mean, maybe I'm wasting my time and effort. I've always wanted to have my own observatory. I'm 62. And another 10 years from now, I'll be retired. Give me something to do, right, at night. I mean, who knows? My libido. but going, you know, but going forward.
Yeah, because the aliens don't have genitals, so you're not in the right league. Eh?
Well, wait a minute. Well, how do they have baby aliens? That's a new.
Yeah.
Maybe I can get federal money for studying that.
Absolutely.
I'm going to do a study on how aliens breed. Watch the federal government give me $1 million to study that. That would be funnier than hell.
Yeah. Maybe the federal government wants to kill me. Good luck.
Fuck boy, I agree with you. But somebody needs to back it. Every astronomer needs. Pugboy wrote, that's why I trust his work. And I agree with Pugboy. I agree with Bruce's work.
Yeah, he's awesome.
I mean, I know they're there. The U.S. government knows they're there. Everybody on this channel knows they're there. They're out there.
Right.
But people need to realize, huh? People want to see a second. I just, you know, until they have two, and then the news will pick it up. It's going to be, I don't know.
Yeah.
I just think it's something worthwhile. Elmco, I found the link. What did you find? What was the link? Elmco.
Okay, because you wanted us to post a link that we're talking about. I don't know if it's about mine or, but he found it. Elmco found it. Thanks, bug boy.
That's why I trust his work is real. I wouldn't be spending about 40 grand on my own cash.
Yeah, exactly.
But then at the same time, it's like I said, though, you know, I'm kind of going back and forth, but, you know, doing the addition, I had planned to do this. Yeah, but I had planned on doing the addition. Then talking to Bruce, getting to know Bruce, and he kind of like put it in my head, why don't you do the observatory? And I'm like, oh, it'd be cool if you could do an observatory at the same time. And I'm like, I had to go back and redraw the drawings. And I put an observatory, and everybody said, oh, you can't put an observatory on the second floor. I go, bullshit. You can do it if you do it right, if you know what you're doing. So that's why I got an additional, I mean, my footing below that pylon is 5 feet by 5 feet by 3 feet thick, with 2 layers of rebar, and number 5 coming out of going up to a 2-foot pier going 12 feet in the air. I mean, you hit that thing with a sledgehammer, that thing doesn't even vibrate.
No, you can have
another. I could have 2 telescopes on that thing operating at the same time.
Of course, and you're set up for when you do get bigger. You're all ready to go. All you do is need to change
the OTA
or whatever. You know?
Yeah, I just rebalanced the mount with the new OTA on it. I mean, the OTA is the focal tube. It's, you know, this part of the telescope is called the OTA. This part right here, but this part right here is called the mount. the OTA mount to the mount.
And
Yeah.
you're doing your own work. So you're
Right.
basically,
So when I talk about an OTA, the OTA is where I'm pointing here. That's the OTA of a telescope. Okay, the mount is what the OTA mounts to, and then I'm going to have a wedge below that, and then this tripod down here does not exist on my telescope. I use the concrete pier, which is secured into the ground 12 feet below. So I'm technically building a telescope, and I'm showing people how to do it right. And as I get into putting this all together, my videos will become more in depth because I'm just kind of showing people the construction process right now. I can get in and be like Mike Holmes and build it right. Blah, blah, blah.
If you don't think that that's interesting, then nothing is. Because your videos, for me, the construction of an observatory is just as interesting as finding UFOs on the moon for me.
Right, thank you.
Because, you're building an observatory.
Right.
Anybody that's in love with space is saying, holy crap, look at the place he's making for me. It's going to be amazing.
Right. And if you watch the dome, I mean, look at the dome I had to buy.
Right.
Then they wanted me to have it match the color of my house so the neighbors wouldn't complain. They're going to complain anything. I got old people, I got young people around me, and their properties are $1 million properties, but
Yeah, what you're going to do, Marty, is you're going to paint a moon on your dome, so that way.
I wanted to do a smiley face. I wanted to do well on the back side of my building. And I told my wife, and I said, I got that flat facade on the north side of the building, and then it's going to have this dome. I wanted to do in foam pop out the Enterprise. So you got the dome at the beginning on the one end, and I wanted to bring a foam pop out on the side of the building coming down, and then with the two engines, the two star engines, whatever they call those things from Star Trek. And I was just going to make it pop it out, and that would give you enough delineation of what it's meant to be. And I think that would be kind of cool to do that. But I think that would be kind of it'd be a Star Trek type of thing, but the neighbors would probably complain about that as well.
What I want in my observatory is I'm going to have, cheap, regular white marble floor.
Me, I'm doing black. I'm doing BCT tile.
I want a Star Trek door that opens up. Gotta have that.
I'm doing black BCT tile, 12 by 12 tile on the deck, the observatory floor deck, because the inside of the dome is kind of like this dark blue and matte finish. The mead blue, it's super dark blue. If you look at the video, you can see that blue when they were making it down in Florida. Hey, David White. Thanks for coming.
That's what I was just saying hello to him. Hello, David White.
David White's here. Hey, man, thanks for stopping in. We've been on here for an hour and a half. I got Bruce on speakerphone. He's kind of walking me through and helping me out on my first live stream.
Which turned out to be pretty good.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not super spoiled.
You gotta understand the trolls.
I don't see any trolls here. Are there any trolls here?
Trolls that are going to be on your way, try to find out. They're going to tell you, you're not doing that right. That's not going to be done right like that. That's a fake thing. That's stupid. But that's okay. It's going to attract so many people. And I've never been able to get along with anyone talking about cameras because everyone has their own idea. So what I did is I wanted a camera where I could shoot at the moon and take a natural snapshot without any tampering. So people get mad. They're like, well, Bruce, imagine how good your work would be if you went all out and bought all these filters and I'm not rich. It'll come though. It'll come. But what you're doing, Marty, is good because you're starting off in the right way. So everything that you're going to have all the options, do all of that and more than me.
I am doing, let me go there. I kind of like log into my account over at Woodland Hills Telescope or telescopes.net. Let me go to here in my shopping cart.
Controls right now on the Woodland Hills website looking forward.
Yeah, well, Woodland Hills, they're a good group of people. I like them. My wish list. One of the guys was asking me what filters I'm going to be doing. I got to log in here, and they give you
well, in reality, filters, aside from color filters and stuff, monochrome filters, sure, there'll be a bunch of testing we can do. But a filter, I mean, that's a big word, filter. And filter doesn't really, it's not that we're really filtering anything. It's just adding some light to, like me, I have a program here. I use at least 16 programs, Marty. While I'm doing my work, there's always these free online programs that I go to do an extra.
What's that guy? Elmico. You were asking filters and stuff, or was that? Elmico was asking about the filters. What I am doing, I've been looking at the ASI 6200 Pro 3.0. That's $4,000 for the camera. That's that high pixel. For tracking camera, I've been looking at the Starlight Express Super Monochrome Auto Guider. That's $632. Then for the filter, I've been looking at the Optec HSFW high-speed filter wheel with USB interface. That's about $850. And the focuser, I'm looking at Optec. I really like the Optec stuff. The guy's local. He's here in the United States, and they make all the parts here.
That's a must. It's close to you.
It's called Optec. Yeah, it's Optec, the manufacturer. And they've got an integrated temperature compensating focuser, because everybody knows telescopes heat up from their viewing, especially of the moon, because of the heat output that the moon light generates will burn up a sensor. That's why you got to have cooled sensors. Otherwise, they start to blur. The sensor gets too hot, they have to be cooled. And that's why you should be using a fan cooled or liquid cooled sensor when you're shooting in especially the moon or the sun. Then I've been looking at the ATAC. Yeah, they have an ATAC makes the same thing, but this is the camera. It's got a built-in color camera by ATAC. It's called a 16200, 16.2 megapixel, but it's a 35 millimeter sensor. But the issue is it's only 9 megapixel size, and I need an 11. But you're looking at filters, and then the filters, I'll just do the RGB, dark sky filter. We'll see how that goes. And I know they've got some, there's an infrared filter that comes and goes. It's a hard filter to find. I was talking to...
I've never been able to get one now.
Yeah, they're hard. They come in and then they're gone. Because they come in and they're in and then they're out of stock. They're super hard to get.
I have to invest in that. I have to invest in that this summer.
Yeah, they're cheap. They're only a couple $100. They're cheap, but the problem is.
I know I can't find them though.
Right. So Farrah, I told Farrah next time she gets one in, or just order me one, and I will, just put it on my account. Get it to me.
Definitely. I'll keep the cash for that. That's a must.
It's a 2 inch. You're looking for 2 inch, right?
14 inch.
No. It doesn't go on the front. It goes between the camera and the back end, Bruce.
But it's for a 14 inch. I need it. So
right, but it's a 2 inch. It's a 2 inch. You're using 2 inch mount on the back side for your camera.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, it should be a 2. You're not using the 1.25 inch. God no, not with a 14 inch. You're using a 2 inch.
No, it's almost huge at the back. It's 2 inches at least.
Right, yeah, it's 2 inch. See, I've got mine on my 16. I can go 3 inch. It's got an adapter.
I can too.
Oh, you do have a 3 input. Yeah. Well, A filter for a 3-inch is like 15 grand. The filter wheel.
Yeah, I know.
Those are crazy.
Unfreaking real.
Those are crazy.
It was more expensive than my bloody telescope.
Pug boy, independent is key. Michael, I plan on moving out of the valley in 5 years after my wife retires. Somewhere in the darker skies. Yeah, you go up toward the Grand Canyon, north of Williams. I got an acre up there somewhere. I haven't been up there in a couple years, but we own an acre north, just south of the Grand Canyon.
I'm going to be buying that acre from you.
Yeah. I don't think so.
Yeah, I see myself right by the canyon there.
My kids want to go up there and camp out and stuff. It's just, it's about 10 miles south of the Grand Canyon, the rim, the southern rim. We got an acre up there. It's in between. Yeah, it's in between. We got Williams here, and then you got the Grand Canyon here. It's like right halfway. It's no trolls yet. LOL. Nice. Keep them in line, pug boy.
You have to say hello to Gerald from France.
Who's here?
Gerald, a girl from France. They got someone from
Robert. Is that Gerald D. Robert? Looks like Robert.
Robert, yeah.
Hey, hello, France. How you say it, Bruce?
You say bonjour.
Bonjour. I understand that. Bonjour. Bonjour, France.
Yeah, that's exactly it. Bonjour.
Chris, I'm sorry I'm late. Yvette's here. Hi, Yvette. Chris. I'm afraid I'm going to say these names wrong. I'm trying to get it right.
I get them wrong.
I looked at Ruger Ranch. Elmico. Ruger Ranch. Where's that at? Is that east or west? Ruger Ranch. Elmico. Salute. Brucey's on. Quinley, Cindy, Elmico. Up by Sholo. Sholo. That's like dead center. There's so many people over there, though. You're more recluse over by the Grand Canyon because nobody goes up that 89 or whatever unless they're going to the Grand Canyon. But that's, like I said, it's between Williams. Williams is the town you got to go for support to get groceries and stuff.
Yeah, Michael heard that.
Yeah. West of Prescott, yep. Oh, wait a minute. He's saying it's west of Prescott. We used to have a house in Prescott. I used to have Tammy's father had a house at 2.5 acres at the base of Granite Mountain. We sold that about 5 years ago. We should have kept that house. I didn't like it because it didn't have air conditioning. But you don't need air conditioning in Prescott because it's so high up. It's always cool up there. I said we keep that house. We got to put air conditioning in. My wife was laughing at me.
Michael Hurd says, loving the journey from the beginning and looking forward to many more videos. Really appreciate all the hard work.
Which one's this?
Bruce are doing.
Which guy is that? I don't see that on here.
It could be that there's something you don't see. He's over at Chicago.
Oh, Michael Hurd, loving the journey. Yeah. Hey, Michael, welcome. You got any questions? You have any questions on the build so far? Anybody have any more questions on the build?
Well, now that you've fed us all, at least, you sent them a really good idea of what they're doing. Hopefully, they're going to give you back also some feedback on filters and things that you can buy.
I need feedback on the camera. I need a deal on it. I need a deal on a large pixel camera. I don't want to spend $12,000 on a freaking camera just to shoot the moon. I'm not going to do that.
Hey, Marty, you made it to. I've been watching your live stream, and for 30 minutes, it says that you've been streaming 40 minutes ago. For 30 minutes. I
have been on, according to this, 1 hour, 45 minutes, and 6 seconds.
And it says here that you've been here for 40 minutes.
Oh, okay. Well, maybe when it hits an hour, it resets. Because that would make sense, Bruce. That would make sense because I'm at 44:21 after the first hour.
Yeah, but it should say that you streamed an hour or two ago. It's saying that you streamed 40 minutes, but I'm not sure I've been on with you for an hour. For sure.
Yeah, that first one was right. Oh, okay. I know. I can understand the Yvette. My wife's got a friend named Yvette, but it's spelled with an E.
Yeah.
Or Yvette?
Yvette, she follows all my channels, even the French ones. She comments, she comes to live streams. A lot of people from my community that are here, that's pretty cool. I'm really happy for that.
Well, yeah, I mean, hey, Bruce, you know, people, this is Bruce's idea. So I blame everything on Bruce for this guy. You know, he's on the phone here.
Yeah, and with Marty's big telescope, apparently he told me that he's going to show you all how it's really done.
Yeah, right.
We're gonna have some fun, man. That's you'll have no regrets having your observatory. By the end of the month,
we need that mount. We may have to do it. We may have to do a patron by the time this is all over, just to buy the darn mount.
Well, that's another thing. You post it on your video. You start a patron. You honestly write in it what it's about, why you want to raise the money. Once you get the money, you show them the bill. You pay that, and you just be honest with them, and you could get some help too.
Yeah.
A lot of people.
Well, my problem is right now I've got 2 construction jobs going, and you know they're in the middle, so that, you know the big money's gone out of those. Right now it's just covering overhead and paying the bills here. But my sister-in-law's deal, I got to go in, I got to repaint that house, I got to fix that thing up. That's got to pull more funds out of my pocket. I mean, we'll be able to, I'm hoping to break even on that house. She just bought the dang house last year. She didn't even live in it a year. Now we got to move all our stuff out, and now we got to fix it up. I mean, I love the woman to death, but we're gonna have to spend some money. We need, you know, my wife's the beneficiary, and there's really nothing to be beneficiary of outside just getting her bills to break even by selling this house to pay off what she owed. And I mean,
yeah, exactly.
I mean, I don't, you know, and hopefully it won't cost us too much, but it's what we do as a family, though, Bruce. I mean, that's what people do as a family. You take care of, and you got to finish up all the loose ends.
Well, that's right, man. You're paying off her debts and the things that she did and stuff, but that's going to cost you before you break even or whatever. It's
right.
Like you said, it's going to happen. Yeah, that's how it is. So,
yeah.
Hey, you've been over. So you made the hour. That's for sure. In live stream, this is a good stream. I tell you, man. You talked a lot about what you wanted to do. So they're going to know exactly. I think this is the best video you made, honestly, because it's gone about consulting, actually, because you work like a dog. Construction, you know what I mean? No, the info.
We got 32 likes. I got 10 people watching. I've been on for an hour and 47 minutes.
Yeah, that's totally normal. Me, when I've been on, it takes, I've always only seen about 40 to 80 people watching me. I very rarely get 150 people watching me while I'm doing a live stream.
I got a copy of this. What is this site called? Astrobin. Looked on, Elma says, check out Astrobin. They give you the details on the images, what they post. That's kind of good. That's a good idea. I never thought of that. But it's called Astrobin. I need to write that down. Hey, you got the link for that, Elmico? Miko, you got the link? Is there? Do you know what the link is? You know how to post a link, copy and paste? You hear that, Bruce? There's this. Miko came up. You see the bottom, the last chat line. See, I can pull Bruce Schwartz and go up halfway, back up, and then be 20 minutes behind. There's Bruce, you know, I typed something. I was doing that yesterday. I put in the timestamp, and then I was hoping he'd read the timestamp when he got to it. And I wanted to look at my phone watch or my phone and see how long it took you to read it. You were like 20 minutes behind yesterday because you don't move your thing down all the way down. You don't try to. You're not keeping up with.
What I do there, I read all the comments. I go all the way to the bottom. Then it freezes. And what happens is while you guys are contributing and stuff like that, up on hold. Everything jams here. So then
That's your internet speed. You got terrible internet.
Then all the page starts scrolling up, so I have to start looking at. I have to go back up to where I was.
Right.
It's different. You guys don't see that. Like you'll see you, Marty. You're going to see that your feed is different to ours. So
yeah, I got high speed. I mean, I'm pumping out 480 megabytes per second on my internet. I mean, I get huge bandwidth here. I'm running my security cameras, or I could pull my security cameras up right now. It wouldn't slow me down a bit. But my hard drive, my issue is I got less than 5 megabytes left on my hard drive. I mean, I ordered another hard drive. It's only got a 500 in this office computer. It's only got a 500 gig, but I've got a 6 terabyte coming for this computer. It's supposed to have been here Friday. I was hoping to have it. That's the other reason I haven't done a video, because I can't download the video from last week, what little I have, to the computer. I have to go up front, but my video editor is on this computer. You understand what I'm saying? I can't import video. And that's why I was worried about this live stream. Does it record onto my hard drive, or does it record at YouTube and then you post it after?
At YouTube, it'll be posted by itself.
Oh, it does it automatically. Okay. All right, so I'm not eating up hard drive right now. Okay, good. My drive, my computer will crash.
It's going to disappear. You're not going to see it right away. You're going to have to leave it at least an hour until it starts showing up in your videos. Here's the thing, Marty. Remember to go back in your video in an hour to click. Oh, no, it's free. You're not monetized. Okay.
Right.
The live streams, to monetize them, you have to go back. Just to write not for kids. If not, they're not going to show this live stream to nobody. So just remember to click on not for kids.
I already did that at the beginning. They gave me, Bruce, they gave me that option at the beginning.
Oh, they did? Okay.
Yeah,
good.
I had that already defaulted.
All right. Me, I was having problems with it. They were taking it off. So here my live streams weren't monetized, and they weren't even in the list, because there's also an option where you could have the live streams appear for a couple of weeks after. Because if not, they disappear at one point. You'll either have to make a playlist of your live streams, or people will just click live stream in the search and they'll find it. They just have to click the date. Like if you're always calling your live streams like you just did Carefree Observatory, well, they just have to click and search Carefree Observatory, and then they'll see all those.
I Google it. Check it out, guys. Hey, I invite everybody to do this. Go on Google. Google Carefree Observatory. I got like 4 pages, and I haven't done anything. 4 front pages. Yeah, on Google. That was crazy. It's scary. Google has me 3 or 4 pages deep right off the bat when you type in Carefree Observatory. I was like, wow. I did that before the live stream, and I was just like,
yeah, they're watching. They're definitely watching.
Somebody's, I don't know how I'm getting so much recognition on, which is just kind of crazy.
Well, you know that you probably made a lot more watch time. Look at it like you want. Even if we're only 15 people here, if 15 people watch you for an hour, that's 15 times 60 minutes. So you're going to have 15 hours, right? Depending on the time. So after just one live stream, it can give you about 15 hours.
Wow.
That's why people that want to monetize their channels, they start live streaming more often, because each live stream you're going to get many hours. That's why when I tell you my watch time on my channel, which is into the millions of hours, it's because of the live streams too. It's helping a lot. You know, the live streams give me a lot of watch time, but it takes a long time. I mean, I'm still at 10 million hours, man. It's hard to believe.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
Yeah, it starts going up really fast, but at the beginning it takes a while. But then you'll see your watch time at one point there, because every week I get so many hundreds of hours of watch time, and you won't have to calculate. At one point it'll occur pretty fast. I'm assuming this summer you should be more than halfway to being able to monetize it. Which
I got 6. What are the people? I've got right now I got like 600 subs, but my hours are out of 4,000 hours. I only got like 280, 300 view hours, which is nothing. You need 4,000 view hours since they changed the, the cusp before they actually monetize it.
Just this live stream is going to give you a whole bunch of hours, and that's where you're going to recuperate. Because think of it now, right now, this says hopefully more people will smash the like button. I'm not seeing many like buttons.
Yeah, hit the like button, people.
The 14 watching, they've been here for the hour. So those people,
well, here showing, I'm only seeing 12 here now. On mine, I only see 12 people watching. 11 people.
Because those are two trolls that block you, and they're following you. They're watching you. There's 14 watching you. I've been on the live stream for 10 minutes with 3 watching. Nobody's talking. At one point, I said, "Guys, can somebody say something?" No, they're watching.
Well, here now, I just looked at participants. I have Quinley, Pugboy, Elmico, David White, and me. I don't even see you. You're not even on it. You're not even in the participant list.
No, I'm invisible. Everybody tells me that on the channel. That makes me mad because it's probably why they're friggin'. You see, David sees 34 watching. You see that? I don't see that at all.
David White says he's seeing 34. I see 33 likes, 12 people. On my side, I see 12 people next to the 33 likes. And then I got a live stream.
I'm jammed at 14, you're jammed at 12, and there's a lot more people. So
right.
See, Alfie...
Their analytics, I think YouTube's analytics are way off. Yeah.
Alfie Joe Bob, thanks for coming, man. Another very big supporter. Quinley, Alfie Bob says there's 34 likes, man, and I'm only seeing 18 with my likes.
And I'm only seeing 30, and I'm only seeing 33. That's weird.
I know. I see 18. So, you see, we all see different amounts. It's coming in depending on our connections.
Yeah, and that's what I got. That's what I got, David, too. I got 34. I got the same thing. I have 33 likes and 12 watching. But then when you go up to the top, guys, those 3 dots next to the live stream, you can click on participants. And participants, I have Alfie Joe Bob now, Carefree Observatory, David.
We can't see your participants, only you can see them.
Yeah, but I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 people participating. No, you're not one of them, but yet you're there.
That's funny, yeah. And I'm subscribed to you, and I even commented on the thing, which is it should.
So you can't really trust YouTube's analytics. They're what do you call it? Infected. They're not true. They're not true analytics at all.
All right.
Yeah, you can't trust YouTube's analytics or their numbers because, like you said, there's 11 people supposedly watching, but when I click on it, there's only 4 or 5.
It's all going to show up. It's because now we're all bugged. There's a whole bunch of us. The image is not bugged though. You didn't lag once. Your image. There's no pixelation. It looks like a video I'm watching on my computer on my desktop.
Yeah.
It doesn't look like you're on YouTube because YouTube does pixelate videos all the time. Even my live streams look pixelated.
It gave me an option at the beginning to do the different format.
Yeah.
So I went with my camera's format, the HD 1080, because it's a 1080 camera. So I just figured, what the heck. Because I know my bandwidth, my internet strong, so I mean I can watch cameras from anywhere on my mobile phone, and there's 16 cameras around this house.
That's awesome.
So, and that takes a lot of bandwidth. Oops, just clicked.
Yeah.
Pugboy, what'd you do? Quinley, those blue war. Look at all my, what do they call it? What do they call you guys with wrenches? Pugboy. Hey, does David White needs to. David, you want to be a admin or whatever you want to call it? What do they call those? Moderator?
Yeah, moderator. Mod. Yes, mod.
David. Yeah, should I make David White a moderator?
I trust him.
Huh?
I trust him.
All right.
I'm sure he's safe.
David White, you're a moderator now. How you like that? Now you're blue.
El Nico has a problem downloading the link to Astrobin.
Nice. You don't have to download it. Just copy it off your browser. Up in the browser window. Highlight it and right click and copy. Streaming for 119 minutes, 34 likes and 11 watching. Yeah, that's what I got, 11 watching too.
So you see, me it says started streaming 41 minutes ago. Do you guys know that when you go onto my channels, the live streams are not there? They're disappeared. And my mother says that it takes a whole day for her to get a notification that I'm live streaming live.
That's
and
crazy.
when she gets it, it's a day after.
I told you that too, because I'll be working and I check my messages.
Yeah, that's right.
I'd be working and check my messages, check my notifications all through my phone because my phone, ties into my Wi-Fi when I'm at the house here. And I'll get notifications when I drive away from my house through the phone service.
Exactly.
And I use Verizon, which is actually, it's 5G. It's pretty quicker. And like I said, I was watching you perfectly all the way from my sister-in-law's house last night. And when I got here, I ran into issues with the kids and the wife. We had to put out some fires, but, that's to be, you get disagreements, you got to handle that. I wanted to get in here.
That's right.
I wanted to get in here and take care of some business, but I couldn't do that. But I think you were already off by then.
Yeah.
I took care of it this morning. Yeah, I donate to Bruce every week. I feel guilty if I don't give him anything. Bruce says, don't worry about it. You're a big supporter. I support.
With you, it is not easy accepting money from people. It really isn't. And at the beginning, it was very, very embarrassing for me. I had a hard time thanking and thank you contributors and thanks. There's money coming. We need the money. I don't brag about it that we need money, but I do need some to do what I'm doing. And what's coming in is what they can give, and that's what my salary is going to be. Is whatever people can give. But I'm putting all the money on the research. A lot of the trolls.
Yeah, it supports your research. And I keep telling people we got to support Brucey's All USA tour.
Absolutely.
We need to get a fund going. We need to do a GoFundMe account for Bruce's airplane ticket. Because once he gets here, he don't need nothing.
No. I'll pay all that money myself.
I'll send you the ticket.
I'm not going to ask them to pay for the trip, but
tickets are cheap. Round trip ticket. I think I looked it up. Wasn't that like $400, $500 if you buy it out far enough? It's cheap.
Oh yeah, super reasonable. I'll
cheap.
have the money, and I'm going to put it aside. Definitely, I'll pay the trip down, back and forth. First class? No. I'll maybe get a cargo plane down or something.
First class is when you got a female in your arm. Then you get the first class ticket.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's just a hop skip to Vegas, for a night. And you go take in a show. You piss away a little money at the table. Make the casino happy, then you go back to your room, and you fly out the next morning.
Exactly.
You're in and out.
I'm the best poker player there is.
Yeah, no, you go to Vegas. I only go there for the shows. I mean, it's an hour flight, not even an hour flight.
I've never been in my life to a casino anytime at all. Never been in my life.
They know me. They know Mr. Holmes at Treasure Island. I usually go when we go there. Last time I was there a couple of years ago, we my buddy's birthday, and I ended up ordering up a penthouse. And then I got the penthouse. They charged me $1,000 for one night, And it was my buddy's birthday. And actually, it was Ryan Sims, that singer. That was my 500th subscriber, Ryan.
Yeah. Right.
He's got a new album coming out too, by the way. Ryan Sims. People ought to check him out. I'm gonna have to post his YouTube. He's been putting up some YouTubes lately, and we got to get him some PR. He's got a new album coming out. He was supposed to release it before this COVID-19 started. So that kind of put a dampener on that.
Yeah, that's changing a lot of people's dreams.
Yeah, but they just produced a new CD and it's got a lot of his new music on it. He's phenomenal.
Right.
He used to play rock and roll and then he went to country and he's just hitting it off. He's in Nashville once a month. He's got a house, not a house, but an apartment there. But that's huge. That's huge.
Hey, Marty, I'm going to have to get off.
You got to go. So do I, though. But I got to go. Hey, everybody. Pug Boy, David White.
It was an amazing live stream, man. I'm telling you, you did a good stream. You got a lot of information out there. And I'm sure that they're going to
Cindy, all you guys.
and now you'll be good to answer the questions and everything, man.
David White, Pug Boy, thanks. I think that's Alfie, Joe Bob, 34. Hey, thanks for coming. Trying to think who else is here. I don't want to miss anybody. Bruce. Support you guys support Bruce. That's huge. He needs to support me right now. I'm okay. We'll see what happens.
One big family. That's what we are, man.
Yeah. Gotta go. Everybody. David's gotta go. I gotta go. Yeah, I gotta get some work done. I gotta lay out electric. And get a header started. My boy's supposed to come back with the wife. Yeah, I slept in this morning, and I guess Juan showed up, and I didn't. This is first Saturday. The son of a gun showed up. I told him he went home early yesterday, but he wasn't feeling good. When he comes back today, I think he was out drinking. But anyway, hey guys, thanks. Love you all. I'm gonna take off. Bruce, thanks. Everybody, thank you.
Man. We gotta do this again, bro.
All right. Bye-bye, everybody.